Now at 5, a federal court makes another ruling as President Donald Trump continues to fight election results. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign is being forced to make some changes due to the pandemic, and we'll introduce you to our Aggieland Humane Society Pet of the Week. But we start with what has been a soggy and stormy day across the Brazos Valley. That chance of rain will stretch into the weekend. Erica Page is in the Weather Center with what we can expect, Erica.
Yeah, we're going to be watching for at least more rounds of rain. We're kind of in a little bit of a lull right now, except for folks across our eastern counties. That's where we at least have a little bit of that lighter rain filtering in. A little bit more can be found north of the Brazos Valley, and that's also where we have some of those cooler temperatures as we start off the evening. And all of this is associated with a couple different systems. The first is this cold front that's going to be slowly continuing to push through the Brazos Valley, helping to focus some of those better chances for rain, especially south of our area, closer to the coast. And then we've got some snow that sits out towards the west. That is a part of a bigger upper level system that's at least going to keep the rain chance going as we step into the second half of this week. But there's all of the rain, a few rumbles of thunder that can still be found closer to Houston and the I-10 corridor. For us, things are starting to meander a little bit more off towards the east, though we do have a few of these very isolated showers starting to bubble up once again. So we'll paint about a 30% chance for rain through the rest of this evening. Can't rule out a couple isolated rumbles of thunder, but I largely think it's just going to be a cooler, rainier evening if you have any of those plans to be outdoors. We are stepping into a weekend where we've got a lot more active weather starting to work back in, especially for your Saturday. We'll time out those rain chances for you coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Erica. President Donald Trump continues to fight what his campaign claims is widespread voter fraud. The president's lawyers are vowing to take their case all the way to the Supreme Court. Today, a federal appeals court in Pennsylvania rejected a lawsuit there. The court ruled that the campaign's claims of voter fraud, quote, have no merit. But if the Electoral College seats President-elect Joe Biden, President Trump says he will leave the White House.
Certainly I will, and you know that. But I think that there will be a lot of things happening between now and the 20th of January.
All 50 states must certify their results before the Electoral College meets on December 14th. Challenges to vote results must be completed the week before. The Brazos County Health District did not release new COVID-19 numbers today due to the Thanksgiving holiday, but we do want to remind you about some free testing happening next week. Starting next week, there will be several free COVID-19 drive-through testing sites. Monday through Wednesday, there will be sites at the Brazos Center in Bryan and at Connecting Point Church in College Station. And Tuesday through Thursday, there will be free testing at Brian Bachman Park in College Station. Appointments are not required. Testing is open to everyone, not just Brazos County residents. In San Antonio, residents are now under a curfew until Monday morning. That curfew runs from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. It also extends to Bexar County. Officials say people can't congregate outside their household. Dine-in and patio seating at restaurants are closed. It's an effort to try and slow the spread of coronavirus. On Wednesday, the area saw more than 1,000 new cases in Bexar County. For more than a century, the Salvation Army's Red Kettles have helped families in need year-round. Now the campaign is facing new challenges with the pandemic. Elise Preston explains how the organization is updating its fundraising to help millions of Americans.
A sound of holiday cheer and normalcy in a year that is anything but.
It's such a difficult year for so many people. What do you tell people to give them hope?
The message that I would want everyone in need to know this year is that they are loved and they are cared for.
This year, the Salvation Army is helping care for millions more. Commissioner Kenneth Hodder says need for their services has jumped 155% nationwide. That includes the Nunez family in New York.
It's very tough.
Sarah Gonzalez Nunez contracted the coronavirus in the spring and later lost her job.
I could barely breathe, where I had so much medication. You can't say good morning except through a door, and it's sad.
The family of longtime volunteers is now leaning on the Salvation Army for support as the organization faces a challenging holiday season for its Red Kettle campaign.
There are fewer locations for the kettle because there's less foot traffic, the coin shortage, some of the local shutdowns as a result of the pandemic will all combine to reduce the amount that we receive from the Red Kettle by about $60 million across the country.
This year, the Salvation Army is making it easier on donors with Kettle Pay. You can either tap your phone or scan the QR code to make a digital donation.
Kettles are rolling out everywhere this week. Some cities started weeks ago, and they still accept cash and coins.
A penny to $100 goes a long way.
generosity this family has experienced firsthand. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Here's a reminder that our Food for Families food drive is coming up next week. It's Wednesday, December 2nd. We'll have drop-off locations across the Brazos Valley. Non-perishable food items and monetary donations are accepted. Firefighters in Massachusetts believe a fire that damaged 3 homes was caused by someone deep frying a turkey. It happened in New Bedford, about an hour and a half south of Boston. Firefighters say one woman was seriously injured in the fire. The fire started in one home and spread to 2 others on Thanksgiving Day. 27 people were displaced, and a dog in one of the homes was also rescued. Out west in California, some communities in the southern part of the state have been at an elevated risk of wildfires. The local power company there decided to shut off the lights for many overnight in an effort to cut down on that fire risk. But many say those power outages actually started in the afternoon when many were trying to have Thanksgiving meals.
It's a bit of a surprise, to be honest, because yes, we all really understand our fire threat. Wondering why today? Why Thanksgiving? Why since 1 o'clock?
Some of California's largest, most devastating wildfires have been linked to electrical equipment. Power will be restored once crews have inspected the power lines to confirm it's safe. With the pandemic this year, there's a lot of need and not enough people to meet it. As Rosamond Crown tells us, a 3rd grader near Waco is taking matters into his own hands.
When a pandemic brings big challenges,
when you're breathing with that mask on, you can barely breathe.
Little guys like 3rd grader Ben Hall step up to the plate.
We managed to get through it.
His teacher at Western Hills Elementary School told the class they were running out of sanitizing wipes.
So she was asking everybody to help donate some wipes. So I figured, hey, why don't we just donate a couple of wipes?
A couple turned to 10, then 20, then 85. Ben, with the help of his parents, set up a donation bin in front of his house, asking the community to help.
I thought it was a really great idea. And he's really creative and he likes to be involved in things. The first day we were kind of like going, is anything in there yet? Is anything in there yet?
Nothing on the first day, but within a week the bin was overflowing.
We've had people, our neighbors, who have driven all the way to Austin to get wipes.
His teachers and principal receiving the donation with joy.
I didn't really expect anybody to really care that much, but I guess people really cared.
And Ben teaching us all that you can make a big difference no matter how small you are.
Try as hard as you can, and who knows, anything can happen.
Ben's goal is to collect 100 or more containers of sanitizing wipes to donate to his community. A German candy maker has come up with a way to market the pandemic. He's created chocolate Santas with masks and says they are selling like hotcakes. He also sold masked Easter bunnies that were a big hit in the spring. The baker says his COVID-conscious Santas are bringing some light-hearted cheer after Germany announced this week it was extending a second partial lockdown with restrictions on public life for the foreseeable future. Still ahead, shoppers cash in on some Black Friday deals. We'll tell you how companies are making changes this year. And later, we'll introduce you to Ham. He's our pet of the week.
Even in a normal year, over 50% of children in the Brazos Valley struggle with hunger. 50%. We know this isn't a normal year. On December 2nd, join us for the KBTX Food for Families food drive as we help those most in need this holiday season.
You're watching Live at 5 on KBTX.
Amazon spent $500 million in holiday bonuses to its frontline workers on Thanksgiving. A special one-time bonus of $300 will go to each one of its full-time frontline employees. Part-time workers will be getting $150. Amazon says the bonus is an appreciation of employees' hard work as the holiday shopping season nears its peak. This year, we've seen stores take a completely different approach to Black Friday shopping, from releasing deals earlier to curbside to shipping to sticking to opening early. Stores like Academy Sports and Outdoors and College Station is finding ways to satisfy shoppers' needs in this new normal.
Online orders are way up this year. Curbside pickup, because people don't want to get out in the crowd, is really big this year, and we're shipping a lot of orders from the store to their home. So it's up huge this year so far.
The National Retail Federation expects with online deals that National Black Friday sales will increase about 5% this year, and stores raking in up to $767 billion. Here's a Black Friday deal if you've been stuck at home. Hulu is offering access to its ad-supported streaming TV service for just $1.99 a month. The discount price is good for a full year, and then it reverts to its usual price of $5.99 a month. If you already are a Hulu subscriber, you can apply for this deal as well. It's available through Monday. While it's Black Friday, there is another kind of local seasonal shopping opportunity kicking off today. The College Station Noon Lions Club began selling Christmas trees at 9 this morning and will continue until they are sold out. Proceeds go right back into the community. The lot is at the corner of Texas Avenue and West King Cole in College Station. A mall in Washington State is trying to help kids still take part in that joy of seeing Santa, and they're using technology and nostalgia over a favorite Christmas movie to help make it happen. The mall has turned their Santa set into the recreation of the 1983 film The Christmas Story. People use their smartphone to pull up an app that allows them to take photos that appear digitally on the screen.
That'll unlock different filters as families go through the set. So they'll be able to place themselves in the bunny costume, the bunny outfit, and have that immersive experience with the movie itself.
Santa is also available in person, but at a safe distance of 6 feet. The experience of Santa is changing this year. Macy's has hosted Santa for more than 150 years, but will have virtual visits instead this year.
And if you're trying to get some of those outdoor Christmas decorations up, you may want to wait just a little while longer. We've got a lot more rain in the forecast this weekend, plus looks to get a little bit breezy by the second half. We'll get you more details on that forecast coming up next.
Here's tonight's CBS Primetime lineup on KBTX, sponsored by Bryan College Station Toyota and Huntsville Toyota. News 3 weather from the Pinpoint Forecast team is sponsored by First Financial Bank. Local bankers putting you first. And now, local weather.
It's been a rainy Friday for portions of the Brazos Valley. Unfortunately, that rain wasn't found everywhere. You'll notice we do have some holes here and where our rain did fall today, and some folks just fell short of finding some of those heaviest downpours. But where you see some of those bluer colors, that's where folks were able to pick up on at least a ½ inch of rain, if not more. Some folks even closer to about 2 to even possibly 3 inches, especially with this southern band that's set up across our southeastern counties. I do expect that we will see a little bit more rain starting to filter in, not only through tonight, but especially into your Saturday as well, before the rain chances then slowly start to come to a close by your Sunday. Then we get a couple of days of a break. Then by the middle part of this next week, it does look like we have another system that quickly sweeps through our area and at least gives us a small chance for rain Wednesday as well as Thursday. So if you don't find a lot of the rain this weekend, there are at least a couple more chances as we step into the first full week of December that you might be able to find a little bit more of that rain. We've been talking about that cold front that's been rolling through. You can see it's done an efficient job of helping to spark up a few of those scattered showers and a couple rumbles of thunder. But if you look off towards the west and you look closely out towards New Mexico, you can see that counterclockwise swirl. That's all associated with an upper level area of low pressure. And with it, the strong jet stream that sits high above us is helping to not only pull in the Pacific moisture that generates some of that cloud cover, but it is also efficient in helping keeping at least some small chances for rain continuing to develop this evening. So while the bulk of this rain continues to sit honestly south of the Brazos Valley and well east, you will notice there are some spots of rain that are continuing to develop tonight that we'll have to watch for as we slip into the rest of your evening plan. So not a guarantee that you're going to find rain tonight, but I do think we will see some off and on showers continuing to drift on through, at least for the next couple of hours. We will likely, though, mostly sit into a little bit of a lull. As that happens, temperatures start to fall a little bit more. You're stepping outside this evening, 60s across our northern counties, a little bit closer to 70 degrees the further south you go. That's where more of the moisture sits and really is helping to kind of hold in some of that heat just a little bit better. But you notice winds are now back out of the north, and that will be efficient in helping to cool off these temperatures, especially as we get towards the second half of your weekend. Tonight, really not a big difference. Most of us are really going to be sitting upper 50s, if not the lower 60s, as we're wrapping up your Friday and headed into early on Saturday. And notice that difference, it's not much. It's maybe by a couple of degrees by your Saturday afternoon that your temperatures actually start to climb. One thing, though, that we will need to watch, especially as we get towards the afternoon hours tomorrow, is the uptick in activity, especially of some of these scattered showers and a few more of these thunderstorms that may start to impact the LSU game with kickoff slated for 6 o'clock. We'll see if we can get that game off in time, but I do think we are going to be watching for more rounds of rain and a few more thunderstorms trying to drift on through. So I want to walk you through this pinpoint forecast, and this may be the most aggressive version of it, but I still think it paints a pretty good idea that by the time we get towards the afternoon hours, we'll be watching for a few more of these scattered showers and thunderstorms trying to drift on through our area. Here's Saturday at 9 o'clock at night. You're continuing to watch most of this activity slip off towards the east, and it's really not until Sunday morning that I think most of us finally start to see at least a little bit more relief as this system starts to kick off towards the east, and eventually we're starting to work in a little bit more of that sunshine by the second half of the weekend. So we'll see what we can do in terms of rainfall totals. I think many of us are going to be sitting between that 1 to 2 inch range. Isolated totals may try and get just a little bit higher, so we'll have to kind of keep a close eye on that, and that's where we'll have to watch for a very isolated flooding concern, because just remember, the ground could be saturated in some areas as we head into your Saturday. But notice these temperatures as we head into the upcoming week, many of us sitting into the 50s. There is going to be a lot more of a chill that starts to enter our forecast, and it should keep things feeling a little bit more festive as we head into the first week of December.
Thank you very much, Erica. Coming up next, we'll introduce you to our Pet of the Week. Here's a look at what's happening after hours around town. There will be karaoke tonight at Wheels Tavern on Highway 21 in Bryan from 6:30 to 10:30. Tomorrow night, Joey Kipfer will be at Herschel's Bar inside the Stella Hotel at 8. If you know of any live entertainment in our area, email us at afterhours@kbtx.com. For Pet of the Week today, we have Ham. He is a terrier and pit bull mix. The shelter says Ham lives up to his name because of his big personality.
He is probably one of the goofiest dogs we have in our kennels right now. He keeps us laughing no matter what we're doing, whether he needs to be vaccinated or we're just taking him out for a walk. He's always got a goofy grin on his face.
Ham also loves to eat, especially treats. He loves to be outside and play with his toys. If you'd like to adopt him or any other pets available at Aggieland Humane Society, you can visit their website, aggielandhumane.org. You can fill out an adoption application there. The shelter will be open tomorrow from noon until 3 p.m. Speaking of animals, a 12-year-old from Oklahoma is using her love of animals to help raise funds for her local animal shelter. Amelia Foster says her own rescue dog inspired her efforts to help create a pet adoption program. Amelia says she wants all animals to have a loving home, so with a little help from her brother, they started raising money and collecting supplies to donate to their shelter in Claremore, Oklahoma.
It makes me feel happy when the people are really connecting with the animals and thinking of adopting. Some animals don't have it easy at all, and some are in alleys, some are in the woods. I just think that they all need a forever home and just need a good place.
Amelia says she hopes to continue helping her local shelter for years to come. The 5th-ranked Texas A&M football team returns to action tomorrow night at Kyle Field to face LSU. Coming up in sports, we will hear from Aggie running back Anaya Smith on facing the defending national champions. Daryl has that story next.
The wait is almost over. Howdy, Brazos Valley. It is good to be out of COVID quarantine. The Texas A&M football team will play their first game in 3 weeks tomorrow night at Kyle Field as they host LSU. The Aggies entered the game with a 5-1 record and ranked number 5 in the first college football playoff rankings. A year ago, the Maroon and White went to Baton Rouge and lost 50-7 as LSU marched to the national title. Tomorrow night will give the Aggies a chance to beat the defending champs and get some payback for that 2019 loss. Those thoughts may be more for the fans than the players as the Aggies are preparing for the next team on the schedule.
We come every week looking at our opponent, we look at our scouting report, and our coaches, they do a great job of preparing us throughout the week to get ready for the game. So, I mean, we look at everybody as the next opponent. We don't really look at, what they did or what they're doing. So we just got to focus in on what we have to do and how we're going to execute.
Kickoff for Texas A&M and LSU is set for 6 tomorrow night at Kyle Field. The game will be televised on ESPN. Coming up at 6, we're going to look ahead to some big high school football games that are on our schedule tonight and show you how Iowa State rallied to beat Texas late to keep their Big 12 title hopes alive. As we head to break, though, here's a look outside a very damp Brazos Valley.
Join us December 2nd for your chance to help provide hope this holiday season at the 25th KBTX Food for Families Food Drive.
We'll keep an eye on the radar for the next couple of hours. Again, it's going to be more scattered activity tonight. I don't expect a lot of thunderstorms, but we may hear a stray rumble of thunder. It's likely just going to be some of these scattered chances for rain as we continue on into the rest of this evening. So the cloud cover is in place. We will be working in some cooler temperatures as those winds are back out of the north. So temperatures will be falling out of the 60s, likely into the 50s as we wrap up the rest of tonight. And then we'll wait for a lot more rain to try and work through the Brazos Valley tomorrow.
Picture perfect Thanksgiving, but a little rainy this weekend. We'll see what happens with it. Thanks very much, Erica. We'll be back in about half an hour. The CBS Evening News starts right